Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the All Sports Focus podcast. We are back here with another off-season NFL episode. We've got basically the full squad here today, finally. First off, I want to say, even though he's on a black screen and muted right now, during the intro, Troy is finally back from his 6-month
I can do what
absence,
I
so
want,
we're
man.
very
Fuck you.
excited to have Troy back.
There he is.
There he is. He's dealing with some Wi-Fi trouble, so he's going to be very hit or miss this episode. But then other than that, we have Sean, Ryan, and Pap. Sean's back with us for his second episode, and then obviously you know the other two because they never stop talking. So here we are. We're going to be talking today a little bit about some NFL stuff, but first we're going to hop into the intro.
I had a dream, I had a vision, I had to work for this and you didn't. I had to bleed, still got the stitches. I learned to swim from all your bad bridges. Say you're the poet and the prophet, but you never saw me coming. Always starving for attention, and I got the kind you wanted, and it's killing you now. You wanna spin it around, but the truth's still the truth. Nothing you can do. I feel it in my bones.
All right, today we're going to be talking about some more off-season, preseason rankings, but then the two big things we're going to touch on today will be the Terry McLaurin and the Micah Parsons trade requests. I love to see it since the hat I'm wearing. I love to see the NFC East downfall. Basically, both teams, I would say the Cowboys' best player and the Commanders, like, what do you say, like second best player, third best player, somewhere in that range. But first off, we're going to start with Terry McLaurin. He was the first one to formally request a trade this last week. We're going to start. I'm going to put Ryan on the spot here. Ryan, what are your thoughts about this Terry McLaurin requested trade?
Honestly, I could kind of see it coming a little bit. As that kind of market was resetting with higher numbers and stuff, you knew that he was going to want to jump into that. And I think kind of from his position, the Commanders kind of have the space just because Jaden Daniels is on a rookie deal. And that's kind of the teams that can afford to pay their other superstars more as the teams that have quarterbacks on rookie deals. Would I be surprised if he ends up back re-signed? No. Just solely because I'm not sure that there's much of a market for a team that's competing that has the cap space to sign
Save
him.
your prediction. Save your prediction.
Oh, sorry.
Save your prediction. Don't give a team yet.
But yeah, I'm not surprised. I think it's also just kind of become a negotiating tactic at this point in the NFL is request a trade, kind of force people's hand, put it out in public, have there be a bunch of fans complain and stuff, and then they eventually re-sign you.
Yeah. All right, Pap, we're going to go to you because I really feel like you're going to have kind of I wouldn't say an opposite opinion, but a different opinion on these trade requests. What do you got? Or is he frozen? All right, we're going to go to someone else. We're going to Sean. Sean's the only one with internet connection. Sean, what about you?
Yeah, like Ryan said, I kind of agree that it's becoming like a contract negotiation tactic in this day and age. I mean, you've seen players evolve a ton over their mentalities evolve a ton since early 2010s. I think a lot of it started in the NBA, I want to say, and it's transferred over to different sports leagues. And yeah, like you said, using that as a contract negotiation tactic. Um, do I think Terry's going to end up somewhere else? Probably not. But there's been rumors swirling for the past year. I mean, honestly, before that, but um, that I've felt like they might actually do something for like the past year or so. And if they think that they can get, if the Commanders think they can get something of value, it's not the worst thing to do. It'll definitely hamper Jaden Daniels a little bit, but maybe this is why you say, yeah, we went out and got Debo. He's our backup plan. Not that I think he's any good anymore. I mean, he's looked pretty
He's
rough, and
washed.
he just had an injury yesterday, 2 days ago, to his hand. So um, on the field, it hurt a ton, but honestly, it's probably just going to end up in him getting a higher number than the team was wanting and a lower number than he was wanting, but they'll probably end up at that 30 a year ish range.
Absolutely. All right, Troy, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think I agree with the take so far that it's just kind of a marketing tactic at this point with the players. Like, oh, I feel like a lot of players see how much another one gets paid, and then they just boost it. Like they're like, I need this then, and it just goes up and up from there. So it's like I think Terry's probably gonna end up with the Commanders again because they're just gonna have to be forced to pay him. But yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot I can add there, to be honest. Just the market these days is so inflated with talent that it's just kind of hard to figure out how much you can get away with paying someone.
Yeah. All right, Pap, what do you think?
I'd say that this is probably obviously he shouldn't be requesting a trade because he should be getting paid the money he wants because this just shows that the Commanders can't handle success because they should be paying that whatever the hell he wants because they can't get rid of him because Debo's a bum. And it's just because I saw the pictures, bro. He looked like he had about 5 too many Big Macs in the offseason, and he just looked awful. So, I mean, they're going to, like what he said, they're going to give him a little bit less than he wants, a little bit more than the Commanders want. But yeah, they'll figure it out. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. I just think the big thing was the Jamar Chase and T. Higgins signings at the beginning of this offseason kind of really reset the wide receiver market. And then Terry McLaurin, who is obviously clearly the number one on the Commanders, just basically helped them to the conference championship. He's like, I should be getting paid what these other big name wide receivers are getting paid. There's no question. But then also put in perspective, he's a aging 30-year-old wide receiver, and you kind of hit that 30-year-old mark when you're a wide receiver, and you kind of go downhill. So I'm not saying it would be the worst thing to pay him, but also I would not be shocked if they do trade him solely because of that reason. While he still has value, trade him to a new team, you can sign a new deal there. Obviously, it would hurt you, but maybe on the money side of it, the business side of it, it saves you a lot of cap space, and you can really go after a big name one next offseason if there is one. So here's the moment. We're all going to put on our predictions. I feel like a lot of us are going to say stay, but if you have a team that you think, you know what, if he gets traded, this is where he's going, voice your opinion now. We're going to go reverse order. All right, Pap, let's hear what you got to say.
He's staying.
All right, Troy?
Probably stay, yeah.
Stay. Sean?
Probably stay, but just to give the listeners something to go on about, I could kind of see maybe they move him to Miami or something, flip Tyreek for him, just swap a vet, or maybe they can swap a young guy, like a 1-for-1
A Jalen
type
Waddle
deal.
for Terry McLaurin deal, I feel
That was where my head first went, but
Yeah.
then I was like, with how Miami's roster's doing, that might not be the best move.
Mhm.
But yeah, something like that where it's just straight, you take my guy, I'll take yours. See if that resets whatever, Maybe I like your guy 1% more than I like my guy, or whatever, just something.
It's a good little idea. Ryan, what do you think?
Between him staying and honestly the Patriots.
Okay.
The Patriots have the cap space. They've been trying to be more aggressive and kind of going in with Drake May, getting Stephon Diggs in the offseason, getting Mac Hollins from the Bills in the offseason. So I've heard the Steelers floated as a possibility too, but I think that one would just be tough because Terry's going to want to be the number one, and you already have DK Metcalf and a couple others there. So I don't see that one working. So I really think it's either he resigns or the Patriots. 65% he resigns, 35% he gets traded.
I got a different idea here. I got the New York Jets. Because basically, besides Garrett Wilson in that wide receiver room, it's some Walmart baggers, basically, who's catching passes for Justin Fields. So pair him up with 2 Ohio State guys. He didn't play with either of them, but, there's a little connection there. They got a lot of cap space. They got some draft picks they could trade, and that new regime maybe wants to make a big splash move, and this is the perfect time to do it. Because that'll be a pretty damn good two wide receivers, top two wide receivers right there, and Terry McLaurin and Garrett Wilson, if they do that. But that's my idea. I think I'm about the same percentage as Ryan, though. I feel like I'm like 70-30 that he stays versus he gets traded. So, but all right, moving on now to the second one. I think is the bigger one because in my eyes, this has been the Cowboys' best player. Him and CeeDee Lamb, obviously. But Micah Parsons formally requested a trade. What was it, about 2 days ago, I think? And basically, long story short, he said, I don't want to be here anymore. And I think I'm going to voice my opinion first because I absolutely despise the Cowboys, so I'm allowed to say this. I think the Jones family absolutely screwed the frickin' pooch on this one. The fact that you let your best player for 2 straight off seasons tell him, hey, we're going to negotiate the next off season. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep waiting. Basically avoid his agent for years now at this point. When this dude has been like the first like 10 or 12 plus sack player in his first 4 seasons since I can't remember his name. I was just reading the stat, but an NFL like Hall of Fame legend. And this guy's been a stud and in the defensive player of the year votings every single year. And you're not paying the man. That's the part that blows my mind because like if I like let's say I was a Cowboys fan, I would be like throw whatever money he wants at him. He's 26 years old, 25 years old. He's just about to hit his prime. Pay the frickin' dude. But honestly, I think this one more than Terry McLaurin, I think he gets traded more than anything. Honestly, I just think they're at that point because that's kind of who the Cowboys have been. They don't really put up with this off the field stuff. If you do, they kind of just ship you away. So, Pap, what do you think about it?
I definitely think he's gonna go, but Jerry Jones is he's just a hoe. That's the way you could. He's just really just like his move is just kind of just like a hoe. But he just kind of does that. Like you saw the press conference about a couple weeks ago where he was literally just talking crap about Micah Parsons. Like, how do you expect a player to want to stay when you do that to him? He's been your best player. Him and CD has been your best player by far. He's top 3, maybe top 1 defensive players in the league right now. I mean, you can't do it to him. But if he were to go to anywhere, should I save it for the end or can I say it now?
Save it for the end. Save it for the end.
Right.
We'll go around again. Troy, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's without a shadow of doubt he's going to get traded. Just the Cowboys in general, for the past however know how long, have just been terrible with managing talent. They just seem to get it to this point where, like, they have a star player, but they just want to fucking... Oh, sorry, jeez. They just want to just not pay them what they deserve. Like, we saw it with, like, Zeke when he was younger. It's just... when he was actually valuable. Nowadays, he's obviously not. But when Zeke was actually young and valuable, they didn't really want to pay him the amount he wanted. And then finally, they did pay someone, but they paid Dak. And we all know he's not really worth the money.
Oh, yeah, but they'll give their golden boy Dak Prescott $60 million a year.
He's not really worth it either.
Whoopee!
So it's like, but, yeah, they have Micah Parsons, who's been top 5 edge, like, past I don't even know how long, but... Dude, I don't know how you can have a player like that and just not pay them. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to get traded.
Sean?
Yeah, I definitely think this one's kind of the opposite of Terry. Like, he definitely wants out. I don't think this one's a contract negotiation tactic. It's just tough for a player whenever, they pass up on giving you contract extensions, long-term ones, year after year, and you see your teammates keep getting them, different teammates every year. Like, I get it, you're the best player on the team, so that makes it worse because you're seeing a guy, yeah, he's at a more valuable position at quarterback, but, like, he's not worth 60. Like, I do eventually end up seeing it being a trade, and I thought that, and I'm sure y'all would agree, but like the Khalil Mack trade 7 whatever years ago to the Bears, where they moved 2 firsts, a third, and a sixth for Khalil Mack, a second, and I want to say 4th or 5th, something like that. but that's kind of what I foresee. But yeah, it's definitely hard as a player.
Ryan?
Yeah, I think Sean's exactly right. I don't think this is a I want more money type of thing. I think this is a I am done with the culture. I'm done with whatever it means to be in Dallas and in this Cowboys organization, and I don't want to be a part of it anymore. So that's really why I don't foresee any reconciliation between these two unless they just offer unworldly amounts of money, which I don't see Jerry Jones doing for Micah Parsons here. So I think this one is pretty much a done deal that he's going somewhere, and it just becomes a where and who can kind of afford to bring him in on the kind of contract that I'm sure he's going to be looking for, whether that's this year or whether that's, hey, you accept this trade and then we'll adjust your contract in the off season after this season, since we're basically less than a month out from the actual season starting. Probably a little too compact, but I think between Micah and Trey Hendrickson, it's kind of an interesting time for basically two of arguably the biggest defensive end rush type positions in the league to kind of both be in this very uncertain position with their teams. And I think both the Bengals and the Cowboys kind of depend on having Micah and having Trey Hendrickson as like the anchors of their defense, because if they don't have them, I mean, the Cowboys aren't going to win anything anyways, but the Bengals can compete a lot better if they have Trey Hendrickson. Yeah.
I think the big things to keep in mind, though, with trades are having the contracts in place, because a lot of times these players are let know, hey, we're going to trade you to the frickin' Falcons, and then your agent gets in contact with the Falcons and basically you have a contract in place before you even get there. And a lot of teams do that because that way you can officially, like, you can get more in the draft picks, because teams honestly aren't going to pay. You just saw it in the MLB. Teams aren't going to pay an outrageous price if they know you're only going to get you for a season or whatever it may be. So, I mean, that's really going to be a big thing to keep in mind. I think wherever Micah Parsons goes, he would 95% sure he'd sign an extension. I don't see why he wouldn't. Say our predictions now, and if you haven't seen, I think Troy's battling some brutal internet connections, so it's just going to be the four of us here. But my pick here, I saw a kind of a mock trade the other day, and I saw the Seattle Seahawks. I thought that was a great option. They've really been hurting for that kind of a defensive anchor, kind of known guy. They have a defensive coach in Mike McDonald. They've got the draft picks because, honestly, they never really make any big swinging trades. You honestly don't really see the Seahawks making trades like that. They've got the cap, too, as well, and it would be a nice kind of pair up with that secondary, that young secondary that the Seahawks have. So I'm going to predict the Seahawks. I think it's just a little out of the ordinary, because I know for damn sure Jerry Jones' stubborn ass is not going to trade him inside division or to any of their rivals. So that's just not going to happen. Pap, what is your prediction?
I have the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they have a draft pick. Like I'd say, like, what's the word? Surplus. They have a lot of draft picks, and also even if they like paid Max Crosby whatever he deserves, they'd still have enough money to pay Micah Parsons because they're like way under the cap, I believe. And also, I think that'd be where Micah Parsons would want to go. He's kind of like a goofer, so I think you can see him in Las Vegas, and it's kind of the vibe he brings. I kind of want him to go there. So
That'll be a crazy duo, Micah Parsons and Max Crosby. Sean, what do you think? What's your prediction?
Yeah, that was actually the first team that came to mind. The Raiders. It probably because I want to see like a crazy defensive end combo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like why my brain, whatever word, leaned that way. But I don't know. It's hard when it comes to defensive players to me because I still haven't been able to completely wrap my head around the value. Just obviously coming from an NBA background and perspective. NFL trades still don't make sense to me at all. Uh, so whenever I'm looking at it, it's like I do think that whoever is trading for him is already going to have a contract in mind, a contract basically in place, where it's like I think in that Khalil Mack deal, when I was looking at it, it's like that same day that they traded for him, they signed an extension. Like, just go ahead and get it done. Like, put all like questions, worries for Micah Parsons behind. Go ahead and get that done. Um, but I don't know. The Raiders seem like a super fun fit. Kind of like I guess a cop out answers with Pap already saying that, but I want that because I'm a big Genty fan. So give my boy some wins.
Ryan?
I've honestly got the Los Angeles Chargers here. I think with speaking on Khalil Mack being on a 1 year deal, but being 34 or 35, whatever he is now, and having like $30+ million in cap space, I think the Chargers are a team we know Harbaugh is very aggressive on defense and has always been a very defensive minded or defensive emphasis coach. So I think that they can offer something as far as one of their running backs or something as kind of a trade package back to the Cowboys to kind of help the Cowboys load up there. So that's where I see him going is a trade with the Chargers. Plus, it's not an NFC team, kind of like what we've been saying. It's not a rival of theirs or anybody.
I love a John. Is it John, right? John Harbaugh? Jim
Yeah,
Harbaugh?
it's
Jim
John.
Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh
Oh,
and
it's Jim.
Micah Parsons pairing. That would be pretty damn cool. Troy, what's your prediction?
Well, my prediction is different than what I want. I think it'd be cool if the Panthers could, get Micah, but
Of course.
kind of been
Of course.
missing that edge rusher. But no, Ryan actually has a really good take
Among
there. I
other
think
things.
he might
What
want to.
team is your edge rusher playing on now, though?
He might
What
be on
team's your
the
edge
New York
rusher on
Giants.
now?
He might be on the New York Giants.
Yep, thanks. Sorry,
no,
you keep
but
going.
I mean, in all honesty, I think the Panthers could make a legitimate claim to like have a trade for him. I mean, the Panthers and Cowboys have done some deals past couple of years, where we just kind of basically stole from them. But no, I think the Chargers is probably going to be a good landing spot. But I would like to see him end up at the Panthers, which I could see that happening. Got a lot of young guys that they could need over there, so send them that way. Maybe Micah wants to play with a younger team. I don't know, but yeah, I'd like
Sell
to
the
see him go to the
farm.
Panthers.
Sell out the
Yeah.
whole farm.
I'll sell the farm for fucking Micah Parsons.
All right. So that's going to do it for the first half of the episode. We're going to quickly hop into our Beagle Golf ad, and then we will be right back after the break.
Put it in 5, I'll be outside, I'll be on the way. I'll be on the way, you can meet me in 5, I'll be on 9, I'll be on all day. I'll be on all day. Put it in 5, I'll be outside.
All right, and welcome back from the break. This next little part of the episode here, we're just going to be talking about different predictions. We're going to be talking about different kind of rankings, expectations type of thing. And my hot topic question here is the first question I'm going to ask. I want this to get heated because Pap is a Lions fan.
Jesus Christ.
This is
Oh,
the whole
boy.
point. Troy is finally back. Even though he's lagging off his ass, we're still going to try this. What team will dethrone the Lions this year, and will the Lions win the NFC North? Kind of a two-part question there, but Pap, I got to start with you. What's obviously I know what your answer is going to be, but I want to hear it.
The Lions are winning the North. But if they don't, I think the Packers do. Jordan Love's still like he's a solid quarterback. He's gonna get the job done unless he doesn't get hurt. He has like ankles worth of jello. But basically I think the Lions are gonna kinda keep the throne. Obviously we have a new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, but Dan Campbell just kinda has a chokehold on the whole like NFC North, no matter what you think. We just like I think that even if we like split with the Packers, I don't see us splitting with the Vikings. Maybe we split with the Bears, even though they're gonna suck. I just think that we can win 11, 10, 11, 12 games. I think 12 games could win us the North, but like 10, we could be second. I don't care. I don't really care where we're at as long as we make the playoffs at this
With
point.
that schedule, you're going 9-7 and sneaking in as the 6th seed in the NFC. That's my opinion.
No.
You guys have the second hardest schedule, so. And you
Yeah,
know
we
who
are-
has the first hardest schedule?
Bears.
The Giants.
The Bears.
We're cooked. We're
Bears.
going to have the first pick. We're literally going to have the first pick. All right, Troy, what's your opinion? Because
Man,
I want you to argue with Pap here. I'm
So-
trying to set this up.
the Lions aren't winning the NFC North. It's going to be the Packers. I mean, the Lions lost, what, like 10 or 12 coaches or something like that? I mean, that's ridiculous. Sure, their team's coming back a little healthier than it was last year, but, dude, you're not... I mean, come on, dude. 10 or 12 coaches leaving a program. I don't care that you still have Dan Campbell over there. You still have Jahmyr Gibbs. That running back duo is solid. Best running back duo in the league. I'll give you that for sure. But it's not. It's just without all those coaches, it's not going to be enough. But the
Same
the
team
Packers,
that lost a home divisional game last year is the number 1 seed.
Our whole team was injured. We had 35 people injured. We had we had every person in the D line was injured. We had 2 cornerbacks injured. I'm sorry. Maybe we need to get a new trainer too.
Don't care. Maybe you do.
I hope he went with the freaking Bears or the Jets, man. Jesus.
Yeah, probably.
No, yeah, the
Honestly,
Packers are going to
probably
win the
went to
North.
Bears, they suck.
Packers are winning the North. Doesn't matter. The Lions are going to be lucky to sneak in there in the wild card. They're going to be lucky to sneak in the wild card.
Crazy.
Downfall of the Lions starting back up.
Do you think the Lions win the NFC North? I don't think Caleb Williams or J.J. McCarthy are a threat at all. Caleb Williams can't even hit a static net from the videos that I've seen, so I don't think either one of them are a threat. And then I think the Packers, you're going to play hard down the stretch, but I like the clutch factor, I think, of the Lions a little bit more. Just compared to the Packers, we've seen them more frequently choke, and I think that kind of comes to fruition the same way. But I think this comes down to kind of like it was this last season between the Lions and Vikings. This next year it'll be Lions-Packers. It'll be a one game. Somebody has to win or lose the last game of the season to clinch the 1 seed. But I do think the Lions get it done.
All right, last, Sean, what's your thought?
I wish you would have put something where I could hear Pat talk about the Bills so I could see how hot takey I needed to get. No,
this could get interesting.
Like I was telling him, I do like the Lions. They were pretty unfortunate last year with a bunch of the injuries. Losing almost all your coaches except for your head coach does suck. It definitely hurts losing the creative mastermind, Ben Johnson. So I'm definitely curious to see how they'll be on obviously both offense and defense. I don't think it'll change a crazy ton, but it's definitely going to be different going into next year. I've never been a big Packers guy. I think they just have like a bunch of wide receiver 2s and 3s. I'm not a big Golden guy. And Jaden Reed, he's just like, he'll be amazing 2 games of the season, and then that's it.
You'll never hear from him again.
Yeah, exactly. Same with like Dontavian Wicks, Christian Watson, like their entire wide receiver core. I think the only thing holding me back from saying the Vikings are for sure second best, but could potentially pass up for first is obviously their biggest glaring one is J.J. McCarthy. Like, we don't know how good he's going to be, but with the QB whisperer, like, I mean, you never know. Like, he doesn't have to be Tom Brady for the Vikings to end up being good. Like, they've been good with Kirk Cousins. They were good with Sam Darnold, who was never good any other time in his career. Like, I mean, you just don't have to be. He could be like 50-50 on being good, and I bet you they'd still win double-digit games just because that's how great of a coach they have. But All in all, I'm still going to go with the Lions to win the division. I just don't think it'll be a crazy far separated like I'm sure other people do. So
All right, little flip of the script here. Since Ryan's got his he's got backup now for the Bills, so we can't team up on him anymore. But here's the question that always happens on this podcast: will the Bills finally be able to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs this season? Pap, you're already shaking your head. Let's hear it.
Want to be honest, I don't think it'll until Patrick Mahomes retires and maybe a couple refs retire. It'll never happen. You need it's like it's never gonna happen just because it's like it's almost just, at this point I swear it's like a mental block for the whole team. It's like not even physical anymore when you lose this many times, just the craziest reasons. Like this was the first year, I'll admit it, I kind of felt bad for Ryan. I just a little bit. I mean, I never like actually feel bad just because like I can't
Reading his text in the group chat, he was
every game.
heartbroken.
You just get a slab of messages.
Yep.
Unbelievable. The refs are taking it out of the game again. But more of the story is, I just think that it'll be tough for them to get over the hump. But if they're going to do it any year, I feel like it'd be this year because this is like the one year where like it's like kind of different for them. Like they don't have Stephon Diggs, not sorry. I didn't mean to say that. They just don't have like it. Just I don't know what it is about this year, but it just feels different. Everything feels different, and yeah, I just think this is going to be a different year for them.
What the hell, Pap? I want you to start arguments. Why can you not be your normal self?
Because it's hard to like. There's not really an argument here because I kind of hate the Chiefs now. So, but I hate the Bills. I hate the Bills too. But,
All right, I just want to put out there, Sean, you don't know this, but I love to brag about it. I predicted the last 3 Super Bowls correct, the exact pairings.
okay.
And exactly why is because I ride with my boys, the Chiefs. Not saying I like root
My
for
boys
them.
is crazy.
What?
What are we doing?
my
Yeah,
boys, the
because look at them.
Chiefs.
Look
What
at them.
happens
You wanna have correct picks. You pick the team that wins, bro. You don't pick. Sorry, but the Bills, who find every way to lose. Every single freaking way to lose. Tyler Bass shanks a freaking chip shot 2 years ago. You give up a freaking field goal with 13 seconds left. How? Look, sorry.
Okay, but tell me that
These
Josh
are-
Allen didn't get that first down this
That was
year.
a
Oh,
first
he
down.
did. He
That was a
100%
first
got the
down.
first down.
Exactly.
I don't
he gets
have-
that first down, that drive continues, they run out clock, or
A
at least
bunch
kick a
of
field
ifs.
goal.
A bunch of
It was a
ifs.
good call. It was a great call.
But the NFL knows that they got it wrong because they changed to the virtual measuring because they know they got it wrong. If the NFL offices would have said, you know what, yeah, we got that call right, they would not have gone to virtual measuring. This is a way to cover their ass because they know that they messed that call up.
Yeah, I still
that
think
call-
the Chiefs would have won, honestly.
Dude, that's just
But-
no.
Okay, the Bills are up, 10 at that point or something? And so if they go down and kick another field goal or score a touchdown, which the way they were driving, probably a touchdown, you're only 30-something yards out at that point.
Yeah.
You go down and score a touchdown, you go up 17, rolling into the end of the third quarter, the fourth quarter. You just have to play keep away and basically stall out one drive, and you win the game.
2 words. Andy Reid.
But what did he
The
do?
best coach in the NFL.
Even still through all of that, if Dalton Kincaid catches the ball on that last drive, with Josh Allen avoiding 4 different guys on a rush blitz on fourth down.
That was bad. That was actually bad.
Okay, so
that was 100%.
They were still
on you
moving
guys.
the ball on that play and on that drive. So it wasn't. The Chiefs didn't all of a sudden run this out of the building and go up by 30 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. No. I'm mostly rage baiting here for content. If I'm being 100% honest. But like,
okay,
it's every year. I mean, everybody can agree with me here. Every year, it's something new with the Bills and why they lost to the Chiefs. I think the biggest glaring loss to me was what was that, 3 years ago when they finally got a home? Was that the one Tyler Bass missed it? When they finally got a home game?
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah. When it was always, it's an Arrowhead, it's the Chiefs, they're at home, blah, 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 blah. And then they finally got the 3 seed. They finally got to have to go to Buffalo. They had to go to Baltimore. And what'd they do? They won both games.
Baltimore sucks every year.
Oh my gosh! Don't do
My gosh.
that.
Week 1.
Shit.
Week 1, we're going to figure it out. Week 1, Sunday Night Football, we will know.
You want to talk about the Bills choking in the playoffs?
You guys are on the same level.
They are in this. If you
The
can't,
Ravens lose earlier most years than we do.
if you can't make it to the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter where you end in the playoffs.
You're both in Cabo at the end of the season. Maybe your
And
draft
also-
is a little worse.
Look at the offenses. One of them is Josh Allen's putting up 30-plus points a game and a QBR in the 140s.
And then you're looking at
And
the
then the
better
other
MVP.
one-
You're looking at the better quarterback over at Baltimore.
I don't
Wow.
know about that there, Pat.
Compare playoff stats.
Sean, I need you to chime in there. Your eyes just
What
went
is Lamar in the
absolutely
playoffs?
huge.
Like 2-8 or something, dude? Lamar has like 2 playoff wins.
You don't even
Better
know what
than
Josh
that.
Allen is because he loses the fucking Chiefs every year.
Hold
Sorry.
up.
Sorry.
Let Sean voice his opinion. He's a Bills fan. I want to hear what he has to say about this.
Yeah, so I think I don't know. I would say that, yeah, while it's concerning that they do lose to the Chiefs every year, it's like, if you can find a way to avoid them at all, then, you're going to the Super Bowl. Like, that, at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's held them back for all these years. I do think that it's pretty good to look at. They're never losing because of the same thing. It's just somehow this fluky thing happens. Oh, you can tell it's the refs here. You can tell, like, it's always something different. It's never like, we just don't have enough talent. We just don't have this. I mean, each year it's gone, like, the Bills, every single year they've played the Chiefs, have had less talent, less talent, less talent, less talent. As the years go by, I mean, you look at it this year, there's no wide receiver 1 on the team. I mean, you have Keon Coleman, who missed half the season, didn't really get into any good groove. I don't think he's good. I wanted Lad McConkey. I was saying that for the whole draft process. Keon is not good. I'm sorry, Ryan, if you like him. I don't.
Nah, I've got no draw to him.
No. But I think it's pretty disingenuous to say that the Bills are not I think they're the second best team probably in the league. If you put it to where it was just 16 teams, or I can't remember how many make playoffs, 14.
14, yeah.
14. You put them in 14, best record. You can just take the higher record you have during the regular season. You just take whichever opponent you want. You do it in reverse order, or in order of wins. And you just keep re-ranking. I think at the end of the day, you'd see Bills, and then as long as they didn't have to play the Chiefs. And I think it's pretty insane to think about, like, every single year Josh Allen has them this close to winning, and it's just always something fluky that happens. Like Dalton Kincaid, like any other player on the team would have caught that. I still don't know how he missed it. Like, I just genuinely don't know. That throw was, I don't think any other quarterback was making that throw in the entire league.
Lamar.
No, he's
Yeah,
not.
just keep going.
But Lamar.
All right, wait, here. Ryan, I'm going to let you say the stats because we're going to move into this next question, and it's going to be absolutely perfect. Everybody, I want you to rank your top 5 quarterbacks in the AFC. Okay?
AFC.
Because the AFC is miles better. I wouldn't say miles better. That's a little over-exaggeration. But they are better on the quarterback side of the ball than they are in the NFC. So this is definitely, going to be a little, you could go a lot of different ways. I mean, can we all agree in any order? I think the top 4 are Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, for sure.
And then the number 5 spot's
guess.
a little up in the air. Maybe a Bo Nix, a Justin Herbert, a C.J. Stroud. I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys decide here. We're all gonna get put on the spot. I already know what Pap's gonna say, and I'm waiting for Ryan to respond to it. Ryan wants to read the stats, so we're gonna let Ryan go first here because Troy's doing some
Okay, so
research.
playoff record: Josh Allen is 8-5. Lamar is 3-5. Josh passing only 3,359 yards versus 1,750 for Lamar. Josh has 31 total touchdowns to Lamar's 13. And Lamar has 8 interceptions to Josh's 3.
All right.
With QBR 101 for Josh versus 80.6 for Lamar.
Okay, Ryan. So what's the rankings here? What's the go
I
five
mean,
and 5-1, 5-1.
5, I think, is Justin Herbert. I mean, CJ Stroud kind of had the one solid year, but I think we saw a bit of regression this last year, so I think it's Justin Herbert. 5. 4, I guess Joe Burrow, just solely because, like, I don't know, I'm kind of basing it on, like, overall how your team performed, and I think the Bengals always get off to slow starts, and Burrow comes from behind towards the end of the season, but it's kind of in garbage time almost. 3 is Lamar. I mean, he regular season, he is a dominant quarterback. I will give him that he plays extremely well. He's a great dual threat guy. I can't say that he sucks or anything like that. I think in the playoffs he struggles, but not in the regular season at all.
No pressure quarterback. That's what
Yeah.
he is.
2, I mean, as much as I'd love to say Josh is the best in the AFC, and I think maybe physical traits and everything and actual, like, play stats wise, he is. But I don't think I can put him above Mahomes just right now solely based on no Super Bowls versus whatever 3. I mean, if you look at the play overall and the body of work overall of the last 4 or 5 years, I think you would say Josh has done more with less and has brought much worse teams to the same point and met Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs with not as good of a coach. He doesn't have Andy Reid. He doesn't have an all-pro, all-time Hall of Fame like Travis Kelce. He doesn't have a Chris Jones on defense. Like, he doesn't have all of those other. He didn't have a Tyreek Hill for a lot of years either. So I think he's done more, but I can't put him as the best quarterback in the AFC with 0 versus 3.
All right, Mr. Painter. What's your 5-1 over there? After my ass gave the Broncos a D- on their draft grade last year because they took Bo Nix at 12. Golly, I've had some horrific takes on this podcast.
Sean, he also said the
Holy.
Browns were going to
Yeah,
compete to win
that's
the
the
AFC
cherry on
North
top.
last
I said the
year.
Browns were going to win the AFC North last year.
Oh, how
Bad.
bad?
Bad. I think I'm Slick Rick trying to make content over here half the time, and I spit out some horrific freaking calls. I'm at Charlie Halstead's level. Pap, what's your 5-1 here?
At 5, I have CJ Stroud. I think he's solid. 4, Joe Burrow. 3, Josh Allen. 2, Lamar Jackson. And 1, Patrick Mahomes. Argue with a wall.
Okay, Sean?
I'll say to start off, I think it's pretty crazy that we could do this for the entire NFL or just the AFC like we're doing, and the top 4 are going to remain unchanged, whatever order you want to put them in, and it's just who's competing for the 5th spot. I think going forward, I think it'll be Drake May, but I don't think he's there yet. Um, I've been going back and forth between Herbert and Nix, and with a little sprinkle of Geno, because he was crazy with the Seahawks. Like,
Yeah.
there's a Seahawks guy in my main dynasty league, and he gives me all these crazy stats, and I'm like, bro, I don't care. Like, I do not care. Like, I don't like Geno, but he's put up some ridiculous stats, and I want to see if it translates over to the Raiders. Um, but I think at the end of the day, I'm just going to go ahead and go with Knicks. I think with the way that the league has been going, being able to be a runner and passer is what's going to be the biggest game changers. So him being able to do that and Herbert not so much gives him the slight edge for me. 4, like everybody said, is Burrow. 3 is Lamar. He's just a regular season player. If we were ranking for just the regular season, I would put Mahomes 3 and Lamar 2 and then Josh Allen 1. It doesn't bother me. I think if we were going just in a vacuum, not looking at teams, I would put Josh at 1 and Mahomes at 2. But if we're looking at individual success, team success, the teams that they have around them, you're just going to be more successful with what the Chiefs have built rather than what the Bills have built. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and put Josh at 2 and then Mahomes at 1. But if we were starting up a league from scratch, you got to pick whoever you wanted. I'm going to take Josh because I know he can do it close range, on the ground, long range, like whatever I need, he's going to do. And he's improved every year. I mean, you look at, he throws too many interceptions. He's brought that down. He fumbles too much. He takes too much. He's too risky. Well, if your quarterback's not going to be risky, he's not going to be good. Like you're not gonna be competing for a Super Bowl. Like you got to have a guy that is going to be willing to put it all out there, and if it works, amazing. If it doesn't, you're going to support me because I'm going to be the most electric player that you're ever going to watch. And I think that's what
H
Josh
to the
Allen is.
Daniel Jones watching Giants fan for 5 years watching. You know what? I'm gonna check it down on 3rd and 12.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my
it's just
God.
you can't be scared. And I think that as much as I love McDermott, I do. I think he's one of the better coaches, one of the most disrespected coaches in all these dang rankings. He's like, they're putting him at like 8 or lower or not ranking him in the top 10. I'm just like, all he's done is win, except for when he goes up against the Chiefs. I mean, it's the same argument for Josh Allen, but having Andy Reid is game changer. But yep, that's my top 5 without blabbering on too much more.
Oh, you're good. Golly, I want to make an absolutely scorching take here, but I don't think I'm going to. I just want to put out there, I think
Your team.
he's not top 5, but my jersey bet person here, want to props to Ryan for making me buy this jersey. But Trevor Lawrence is going.
Has the same stats as Daniel Jones.
Listen. I'm not saying he's top 5. He will. I'm telling you, he will finish in either second or first in this division this year in the AFC South. Liam Cohen is going to be a great coach. I think they got a good with Brian Thomas, Christian Kirk, those guys. I don't even know if Christian Kirk is there anymore. Now that I just said that, but they got Brian Thomas Jr. But not saying he's going to be top 5, but I got a feeling they're either going to win the division or finish second. Sorry, that was just a little side note. But number 5 for me, obviously the playoff success has not been there at all. But I've got Justin Herbert solely off just talent wise and everything like that, and how much better he got after just 1 year under Harbaugh and how much better he was from before. Number 4, I have to say Joe Burrow. He is one of the only 3 quarterbacks to beat Mahomes in the playoffs. That's a big plus side, but like Ryan said, with the slow starts, obviously the injury history you think of the wrist, you think of the knee. They missed the playoffs. They missed playoffs 3 times now in his career. But then at number 3, I got Lamar Jackson. Sean, I'm just kind of repeating what everybody else said, but I mean, Sean said it perfectly. He is a regular season player. That's what he's always been. Talk about choking in the playoffs, having home field advantage in a conference championship game, and you're supposed to be some offensive dominant team. You put up 7 points against the Chiefs. Congrats.
There's 3 picks, including a triple coverage.
At number 2, I'm glad Ryan said this, and Sean as well, because this is where I was going, and that was my exact reasoning, is just the winning aspect of it. It's kind of hard not to put Mahomes at number one when the dude's won 3 Super Bowls. It's and made, what has he made now? 5 Super Bowls because he's lost 2 of them. So I have to put Josh Allen at 2. If we're going again, like Sean said, strictly off, hey, I'm drafting a new league, strictly talent, I'm taking Josh Allen number 1. Obviously, he was just the MVP this last year just because of how good he was. But you look at the winning, you look at he's literally lost 3 times in the playoffs, and 2 of those losses were in the Super Bowl, and the third one was in the conference championship. You got to put Patrick Mahomes in there. I mean, he's 28, 29 years old, and he's won 3 Super Bowls. He's number 1. It's kind of hard not to. So that's my 1 through 5 there. And the last question I'm going to talk about here before we wrap this up, we got to talk about the Giants. Okay, it has to happen. All right, just yeah, it has to happen.
Hey, leave early? Is that allowed?
This is short. Okay, I just want everybody to give the Giants an off-season grade. Okay, because Troy literally told me yesterday how much better the Giants got this offseason, and that made my freaking day. Because look at the additions. We got Abdul Carter. We got Jackson Dart. We got Russell Wilson. We got Javon Holland. We've got all these guys. We got Dexter Lawrence. We got Brian Burns coming back. Thanks, Troy, for Brian Burns. Malik Neighbors. And we finally have a quarterback. We have Malik Neighbors, who's, in my eyes, a top 5 wide receiver in the league. A quarterback who's going to say, you know what, screw it. He's in one-on-one coverage. Let's let this rock fly. I mean, Russ Wilson, what's he known for? The moon ball. Hopefully we see a lot of moonball touchdowns. Obviously, I mean, Russ Wilson's not the Russ Wilson anymore. But off-season grade, quickly, I swear if any of you say below a B, I'm going to kick you off the podcast. I'm just putting that out there. Ryan, we're starting with you.
I give it a B plus, A minus, like an 89, 91% is kind of where I'm at. I mean, I think it was smart to not take a quarterback with the number 3 or whatever, 4 pick, whatever you guys had, 3. I think that was smart. Jackson Dart, you kind of see as your guy, but instead of the Daniel Jones thing where you kind of shove him in right away to play, it was smart to pick up both Russ and Jameis Winston on cheap veteran deals to kind of insulate Jackson Dart a little bit, to let him learn before just like throwing him to the wolves like they did with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And then, the rest of the pieces, you're building a team. I think the toughest part is going to be, like you said, the schedule and just who they have to play. But maybe the NFC East does get a little bit easier. Maybe Terry McLaurin gets traded. Maybe Micah Parsons gets traded. And now the Commanders and Cowboys the games aren't as tough.
Maybe we shock the world and go 10-7. Get this number 7 seed and upset the sorry-ass Lions in the first round of the playoffs.
You're not winning 3 games, bro. You're going to be terrible.
Wow. All right, Cap, what's your rating then? What's your off-season grade?
It's a B. It's a B. It's not that good. It's solid. You got a couple guys on the draft, and you got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart. But Jackson Dart's going to be solid in a couple of years, but if I'm just thinking right now, Russell Wilson's going to get the job done, like A-okay. Like, it'd be okay. But who's Javon Holland again? Is he like the Miami Dolphins guy or whatever?
Yeah, he's a safety.
He's solid. I think it was just a solid year. They needed it. It's not like whoa, just like nice job, man. To be
whoa when we sacked Jared Goff 6 times.
Okay, bro.
All right, Sean, what's your off-season grade here?
So I'm going to give it an off-season grade, which I think is different than a preparing for this next season. I think long-term, you're setting yourself up for a ton of success. You drafted second best player in the draft at number 3 in Abdul Carter, and then you took a big dart throw, and Jackson Dart at the end of the first round.
I like that. That was nice. That was good.
Simple one, just. But yeah, I've been a big fan of Dart, and I've told you that last podcast. I've talked to you about it. Other than that, I think he's going to be really good, but giving him a year to develop, maybe 2, whatever you decide, to develop and learn the game, learn the receivers, not just throw him out there and crush his confidence if he's not almighty Jesus. But I mean, even if you didn't do that, I mean, you're comparing him against what Daniel Jones did. So I mean, the
It's not
Giants
going
are
to be
going to be
hard.
happy either way.
It's not going to be hard to be better than Daniel Jones. That's for damn sure.
Exactly.
Hey, he won a playoff game.
More than what
But
Jared
yeah,
Goff did say last year.
Oh, you got me there. Not just in
but
the Super Bowl, bro.
with the offseason grade, I think I'm going to give it like an A minus A, just because they got one of my favorite players in the draft. I think he will be able to turn the franchise around. Will it be soon? I don't know. It might take 2 to 3 years, but they're laying the foundational pieces that you need to turn into a winning team, and that's what I like.
All right, I'm going to leave us with one final hot take here. Everybody's going to love this one. I meant to say this when we were talking about it, but go back, look at Micah Parsons' tweets. He said, "I would love to play with Abdul Carter." Hear me out, because the chances of this are literally 0.0001%, because Jerry Jones is never going to trade him in division. Kayvon Thibodeau, 2 firsts, and a second and a third. Micah Parsons, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and Abdul Carter.
Dexy.
That's a pretty
5
damn
wins.
good line. 5 wins? You're shitting
Yeah.
me. Yeah, more like.
Micah Parsons,
All right, Pat.
Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns.
We'll see. We'll see
5
this
wins.
year when the Giants play the Lions. All right.
All right, bro.
We'll see.
I'm gonna put
All right.
like 35 on your head.
Wow. Okay.
He literally just won a Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, because
Just
Caleb Williams had no time, and Matt Eberflus might have been the
like 8
worst
years.
coach in the history of the NFL.
It still is a win.
Bro,
Something
just
which
watch the clock roll down.
Giants
All right.
couldn't win. Period. So
Good one. We both won the same amount of playoff games.
you didn't make the
Congrats.
fucking playoffs. It doesn't matter.
It's basically like you didn't make the playoffs because you didn't win
That's
anything.
not true. We actually see success. You're just gonna keep winning 5 games and nothing's
What
gonna get done.
success did you see? You waited an extra 2 weeks to go to Cabo.
15 wins, bro. 15 wins. We're building. Rome wasn't built in a day.
I thought last year was the
You're
year.
going to talk shit about the Bills doing nothing since they haven't made it to a Super Bowl? 15 wins and still didn't make Super Bowl?
Okay, but this is the thing. Dan Campbell's only been our coach for 5 years, and also to add, he's really only seen success with a solid squad. Oh, don't even talk about Super Bowls if you're a fucking Panthers fan. Oh my god, don't. You should just shut the fuck up.
Oh.
What is your point, bro?
Even the Panthers have been to more Super Bowls.
It's literally same amount of Super Bowls as the Bills. Same amount of Super Bowls as the Bills. It does not matter. We don't.
Whose team has won a Super Bowl in the last 15 years? Or ever, honestly. Has the Panthers ever won a Super Bowl?
Have the Panthers won a Super Bowl?
So yeah, I'm the only one that roots for a team that's ever won a Super Bowl. Yeah,
Is it still been within 15 years?
Yeah, look, he's been a while.
it was 2012.
Yeah.
13
So
years.
you got like
He'll just
one
keep
more
extending it. He'll go like in a couple years, be like 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah,
maybe one
none
of
of your
those by
teams
then.
will have won either, because it's going to be the
Eventually,
Eagles
I
and the
think
Chiefs.
we'll- yeah,
All right, we're wrapping this up. Here we go. We appreciate you guys for listening. Check out all the social medias, the Instagram, the YouTube, the Spotify, the merch site, all that stuff. We're wrapping up Wiffle Ball here. We just have the World Series left. Go check out that podcast we posted yesterday. But we just have the World Series left, and then we will be moving on fully to football, college football, NFL, that type of stuff. So we're excited for that. Might see one more Wiffle Ball episode if we with the draft, everything like that, but whatever. Moving into football, moving into basketball. Troy Painter will be back with the UFC podcast, so we're excited.
Dang it.
Dang it, man. So yeah, that's the plan moving forward. So check out all the socials, check out Spotify, merch site, all that stuff. And we appreciate you guys for listening as always. Sean says bye, but he's not on the camera. But We'll see you guys in the
I
next
think
one.
Abby may have just gotten home. That's why he left.
Okay.
What do you say?
Ryan, cue the music.
Yeah.
I told my